All right, welcome to second question here. So let's go through this one as a word problem. And I made this one up here this morning. I was daydreaming that I won $500,000, $500,000, and thought that if I did win that amount, I'd be generous and give my mom one third, my brother one third, and keep one third for myself. So, what fraction of $1 million will I get? I can think of this as me getting one third of one half, right? Because I'm getting one third and I started with one half $1 million. So the word of here a lot of times is going to help us think about multiplication. And especially with fractional multiplication, I'm taking a piece of another piece, right? I'm taking one third of one half, which is what I started with. So I can write that mathematically as shown here, one third times one half. That's what the of means, one third of one half. So let's solve that one, and then we'll go ahead and prove it on a model as well. So if I was just going to solve this one quite simply, I can do one third times one half. And since I don't have any thing other than unit fractions here, I can just multiply these two. Well, 1 times 1 is 1, and 3 times 2 is 6. So I would end up with 1/6 of $1 million. Let's make sure we put that in there. 1/6 of a mil, which is still a pretty good amount of money. Okay, let's go back and prove this through the model. Am I going to get 1/6? Let me clear the screen here, and I'm going to put 1/6 over here. That was my answer. So let's look at a model setup. Okay, so I've got part of this going, and I've divided it so far in half, right? I have a model, I divided it in half because right here my denominator is 2. So I'm going to split this side up over here into halves. And then I need to show my one third on the model. So I'm going to split the other way in columns. I'm going to split it into thirds. And here's how I can figure out what my answer is using the model. Well, one third. Let's shade in one third in a different color. One third is right here, right? This is one piece of my 3. And I'm not as worried about that middle line yet. That's one piece of my 3, right? And then to show the one half, let's use green. Well, this is one of the halves. Is this top portion here? That's one of my halves. So that's what my model could look like shaded in. That's one third and one half. And we do it in opposite directions because our answer is going to lie where they are both overlapping, which is right here. And we could see that what's shaded in, I have 6 squares here in total. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And there's only one of them shaded in. So that represents the fraction that we came up with before of 1/6. Sometimes the setup in these is the trickiest part. Why did I divide it in half? Why did I divide it into thirds? And why did I shade them in opposite directions? Well, let's take a quick look at that. So let's just pretend we start with a blank square. We know that this is one whole. If I just have this square, this is one whole. So we've done these before. Let's do one fraction at a time. Let's just look at one half first. And it doesn't matter if I split this up in columns or rows first. So let's do it in columns this time. Let's just split it in half. Now I know that to represent this in a model, I need to shade in 1 out of 2 because I have 2 pieces total. So let's go ahead and shade in this 1 out of 2 because I know we've done these ones before. All right, there's 1 out of 2. Now I've shown my fraction, 1/2. Okay, now to show one third, well, the reason why I don't split it up into thirds like this, and I could, but now I'm showing this is this is in sixths, right? I haven't shown it in thirds. I've split it up into sixths, and I need to represent both fractions on this model, not just the one half like I did before, but I need to also show one third, which is why we want to do it in the opposite direction so we can show visually that it is two different fractions, one half and one third. So let's do that. Okay, so I set that one up and shaded it in pink. I shaded in 1 out of the 3 parts. And the reason I don't do this column over here is because I've already used that for the one half. I've already represented one half over here. So I had to do it the other way to represent the one third. And we can see that there is 1/6 overlapping. So that means our answer